Most videos on this channel explain what happens, but some systems are so important and so misunderstood that a normal video just isn't enough. So this is the first deep dive on how it actually works. Deep dives aren't required viewing. You won't miss future episodes if you skip them. But if you've ever watched one of these videos and thought, okay, but what's the system actually paying attention to? That's what this series is for. And for the first deep dive, we're going to break one of the biggest misconceptions about algorithms, that they care most about what you click. In reality, algorithms care more about what you don't do. Most people think algorithms work like this. You click something, the system remembers it, you get more of that thing. And that is partially true. But if that's all algorithms did, recommendation systems would be incredibly dumb. Because clicks are noisy, people click by accident, out of curiosity, out of boredom, or because a thumbnail tricked them. So modern algorithms don't treat clicks as truth. They treat them as hypotheses. What really matters is what happens after the click, or what happens when there isn't one. From a systems perspective, doing nothing is incredibly informative. Think about scrolling. Every item you see creates a decision point. Click pause, scroll past, ignore entirely. When you scroll past something without slowing down, you've given the algorithm a clean, unambiguous signal. No confusion, no curiosity, no ambiguity, just not interested. That signal is far stronger than a click that lasts 2 seconds, because absence of engagement is harder to fake than interaction. Algorithms roughly separate behaviour into 2 categories: positive signals, clicks, likes, shares, saves, comments; negative signals, fast scrolls, short dwell time, immediate exits, skipped videos, seen but ignored. Here's the key insight. Positive signals are noisy. Negative signals are clean. A click might mean interest, curiosity, confusion, accident. But a pattern of non-engagement means this content does not match intent. So while clicks help explore, non-actions help eliminate. And elimination is how systems get accurate. One strong reaction doesn't outweigh repeated indifference. You can like something once, even share it. But if you consistently scroll past similar content afterward, the system learns that the reaction was an outlier. Algorithms care less about intensity and more about consistency, because consistent behaviour is predictable. And predictability is the entire goal. This is why feeds slowly drift away from one-off interests and toward habits you didn't even realise you had. One of the most important signals in modern systems is something you never see: dwell time. Not whether you clicked, but how long you stayed. 2 users click the same result. User A stays 30 seconds. User B stays 4 seconds and leaves. To the algorithm, those are opposite outcomes. Even if user B clicked, their behaviour says, "This was not what I wanted." That negative signal is more valuable than user A's click was positive, because it helps the system learn what not to show. This explains a weird phenomenon people notice. You click something once and then never see it again. That's not a bug. It's because algorithms track click to stay, click to leave. A curiosity click followed by an immediate exit is worse than no click at all, because it says, "This looked relevant, but wasn't." That mismatch is extremely informative. Over time, systems learn to avoid content that looks clickable but doesn't satisfy intent. Now flip this around. Imagine two videos. One gets 10,000 views, one gets 500 views. You'd assume the first is better. But if 9,500 people instantly scroll past it and the smaller video holds attention, the second one sends better signals. Algorithms are not popularity machines, they are optimization machines. They don't care how many people saw something, they care how predictable human response was. Ignoring content at scale is how systems prune the entire content space. Here's something that's easy to miss. Algorithms don't actually trust individual users. They trust patterns that repeat across large groups. One person ignoring a video doesn't mean much, 10 people still doesn't. But when thousands of people independently make the same choice, scroll past, exit early, skip entirely, that behaviour becomes statistically reliable. At that point, the algorithm doesn't need to understand why people ignored it. The pattern itself is enough. This is why algorithms feel impersonal. They aren't trying to understand you, they're trying to understand what tends to happen next. This is why algorithms often feel inconsistent, random, punishing. You feel like you did nothing, but from the system's perspective, you did something extremely clear. You declined, silently, repeatedly, at scale. And silence is not neutral, it's information. There's one last reason algorithms feel confusing. You only see what remains. You never see the thousands of things the system quietly decided not to show you. There's no notification for removed options, no alert for filtered content. So the system feels arbitrary, even though most of its decisions are invisible. Algorithms don't feel fair because their biggest influence is subtraction. People often say, the algorithm is watching me. It's not. It's watching patterns across millions of people. Your individual behaviour doesn't matter, but when thousands of users ignore the same thing, exit at the same moment, skip the same type of content, the system adjusts. Not because it understands meaning, but because it understands probability. Once you understand this, a lot of algorithm behaviour suddenly makes sense. Why feeds change without warning? Why one bad experience can erase a topic? Why creators obsess over retention instead of clicks? Algorithms don't chase attention, they chase predictability. And nothing is more predictable than what people consistently choose not to engage with. This was the first deep dive on how it actually works. Most videos here stay fast and high level, but when a system is invisible, massive, and shapes daily life, we slow down and take it apart. If you want more videos explaining the invisible systems behind daily life, subscribe to How It Actually Works.